Hey guys, happy Sunday. Hope you all had a wonderful weekend and continue to do so. Okay, Sunday Social Security roundup for the week of where are we dated here? For the week of oh my gosh, the 14th. I cannot believe the time is flying. I mean, we're more than halfway through the month. It's incredible to me. Okay, so last Sunday we did the roundup for that week. The week leading up to that Sunday. And now we are going on to Monday the 15th. This was about, if you're traveling abroad, are there limits if you're on SSI versus SSD? And SSI, yes, there is generally that 30-day difference, but you're going to want to know about a few of those details. So check out the definitions of when those 30 days start and end, and consecutive versus sporadic or with breaks and all that. Okay, April 16th, that would be Tuesday. This was a particular case point that I pulled out because it comes from cases. And it was about emphasizing again, and I say this all the time, and my clients hear it all the time. They want to gag, how you have to treat now if you have a pending claim or are thinking of doing it. You have to start treating now for all of your impairments, big and small, not just the one that took you out of your job. And we go into a little bit more about that in this video. On the 17th, this was a must do. If you are in the midst of an overpayment and you're watching huge amounts, if not all of your SSD or SSI benefit being taken to cover an overpayment with the recent rule change that we announced earlier. This particular video tells you how you can get that change today before they get it automatically implicated. The whole idea of getting withholdings to pay your overpayment down to 10% from 100%. The automation of it won't take place for months, presumably, but this video talks about getting it done today and what we learned you could do to do that. Okay, April 17th. This was one of the big rule changes. This one is about the rule change to past relevant work. And there is a playlist called Past Relevant Work. If you do not know what the relevancy is to past relevant work and what the definitions are and the three criteria to figure out which of your past work, if you have a pending claim, is which of your work in the past is going to be past relevant work, which is a term of art, and how the definition of what defines whether it is changing, how that is changing in this new rule, specifically the recency test. They're going to shrink the amount of years they can look at. This is a huge boom to claimants. It's the biggest one I've ever seen in my entire career here, which is about 2 decades. So, okay. And then we had, yeah, that was that. Sorry. It was in there twice because members got to see it earlier. You're interested in being a member and seeing things long before everybody else, sometimes very long before others, sometimes not terribly long before others. Click the join and check it out. It's not expensive, and there's some other perks in there. Okay, this the 18th. That was a Thursday. This was for people who are filing, new filers. You're in the midst of filing or you're about to file. Something you need to know about when you get your re-entry number, when you first start that application online, something that happens and what you should know about so you can decide whether or not to continue to do it in the manner you just did. Okay, and the 19th, oh yeah. We had our fraud law review, of course, and this is a Louisiana woman, age 51, who, stole quite a bit of money in Social Security from her dead mom, as well as COVID stimulus monies. She got busted though. But I had another one come out because this came out because the members got to hear about it on the 18th because they get to see everything the second we put it up when it's not ready to go out yet. And then everybody else got it the next day though. We actually got it the day before it was going to be announced officially. So I put a statement out there, and it's, again, it only applies to SSI. They're doing a lot of rule changes with SSI, not as many with SSD. Although that overpayment one was a big SSD one, and there was another big one. Oh yeah, the past relevant work. How could I forget that? Okay, so this one was about food stamps. This is major, 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 major for SSI folks who live in households with other people. Sometimes the other people in that household, their situation can be deemed to you part of the monies, and reduce your own SSI, even though you're actually not getting a benefit from them. And this new rule is going to help. There's actually multi-sections, multi-provisions that are changing. So we go over the two big ones in this, and the bigger one being that food stamps can be a major factor now in a helpful way to you. Okay, and Saturday. This was a direct question that you'll find when you're applying online, and it's probably in the paper version too, but I don't know if any of you guys ever do the paper version. So if you are applying or soon to apply, this would be probably relevant for you, versus those that have already applied, or are beneficiaries. There's a question on the application about your non-covered earnings. And this would be relevant to people who are interested in the windfall elimination provision. So, and it has a little attachment describing what that is. But in any event, when you see this question, you're going to realize after this video what it is and what it's getting at. It's to determine whether or not you can get that. You would be getting that windfall elimination provision reduction to your benefits. Okay, what else? Anything else? Nope, I think that's it. I think that's it. All right, guys, I will talk to you later. Have a great week. I hope you had a great week already, and enjoy the upcoming week. I'll talk to you later. Bye. So you just listened to the week's roundup of all 7 days right behind us and what those video tips were. Are you concerned if you didn't necessarily catch the ones from the week prior to that? Don't worry, we're going to attach it right here. Have a great week, guys. Bye. Hey, happy Sunday. Okay, so Sunday's Social Security roundup for the week of April 7th until Saturday, April 13th. Let's have at it. On the 7th, yeah, we did last week's Social Security roundup. That'll probably be attached on the end here in case you missed and you think there might be something that could be helpful for you. On the 8th, that would be, was that Monday? Because I know one day I had to do it a day late. Was that week or the week before? Don't even know. Okay, so April 8th, this was about, it gets a little tricky. Step 2 of the sequential evaluation process, and how your doctor's stated diagnosis is not necessarily enough for you to meet step 2. Really important stuff to know. It doesn't affect everybody because oftentimes the diagnosis is properly articulated, but it's something you might want to know. And interestingly, we see more of this explained in an ALJ denial when they don't take a diagnosis as being a medically determinable impairment. And this is the reasoning how and why and when they won't, in a little nutshell. Okay, so that was April 8th. April 9th. This was about OTRs. OTR stands for on the record review. It's when you're asking for one because you think your case is strong enough on the medical records. And we just go into a little bit about when you might want to consider requesting one. They are not that common, guys, because the theory being, if your medical records were beyond the scope necessary to prevail, you wouldn't need a hearing and you'd get word that they could award you fully favorably without a hearing. I say in theory because I don't know that they get a chance to look that in-depthly at cases well in advance of hearing. You know, they're so busy, they're probably short-staffed. So maybe they can't get to them as soon as they would like to, and by then it's a moot point. But occasionally they are warranted, and we just go into that a little bit. On April 10th, this was something about the big application tip. And it has to do with ignored medical providers and what a problem that can be for you. You can solve that, though. It's very simple. You just have to know about it to do it. That is April 10th. April 11th. This was about the side effects of medications. There was some stuff I was seeing out there that was freaking even my own clients out because they watch YouTube, which is awesome. However, you know, sometimes things are put out there to get people to watch and to make a huff and maybe get attention. I don't know, but there was no change in the rule on the side effects of medications. They remain very important. And the rules of how they are considered are by and large exactly the same. There was no change in the rule. So we go into that. We explain which rule it is that you can go read yourself that has not changed and it's been around for several years now. When a court comes out and discusses a particular rule, it's not necessarily changing it at all. It just happens to apply to this particular case and they're applying it. So I wanted to put that out there because even some of my clients were saying, oh, I heard that enough side effects. I'm like, not as far as I know. Let me double check. Yep, nothing between yesterday and today. No, we're good to go. So anyway, that really goes into that and how, we actually go into the court case, I think, on that one. Okay, so Friday the 12th was the Friday photo review, as always. And this one concerned another Massachusetts person, another female. I just feel like we have a lot of Massachusetts people getting themselves in trouble. Anyway, this is a younger mom, 44 years old, and she steals, looks like over $85,000 from her child. 85, huh? Yeah, we get a lot of those. Usually it's when the child is no longer in her custody and she's not supposed to be caring for the money and certainly not spending it on herself. But anyway, we go into that. These are all very timely, like in April, which they should be. The OIG puts them out pretty fast. Just a little snapshot of the bad behavior. And Saturday, April 13th, was the 5th and final part to the 6-video, but 5 parts really, explaining the sequential evaluation process. So if you're wanting to know what those 5 steps are and get a basic understanding of each one, this is the 5th one, but I do believe that tagged onto the back side of it is the list of 5. So if you need to refresh on what the 5 are, after listening to step 5, that's something you can do. And I think that last, presumably you can get to step 1 from there too, if you needed to. I hope. Anyway, let me know if not possible, and I'll look into it. All right, guys, that was the week in review. I hope you all had a good week, and I hope you have an even better week coming up. Enjoy your Sunday, and I will see you next week.